Hello and welcome, fellow land enthusiasts. This is Luke Smith with RuralVacantLand.com, and today I'd like to talk about what I could do with 5K in restaurant land deals. So let's jump back for a little bit. We bought all kinds of properties, sold all kinds of properties across the country, hundreds or thousands of properties. Some of them through this YouTube channel, lots of them through my little website, and lots of others through brokers and dealers in different ways. And studying the data, because I'm a data guy, right? I love data. I love studying data on these things. Studying the data and my passion, some of the ones that came through the fastest with the biggest dollar spreads were high traffic retail locations and that I got on accident. And I started getting them and noticing that they could figure out who goes here on this property and market to those people. You can sell the thing. And they care about the business that goes there, not so much the how much you paid for the land, right? And so you're supplying them with a solution to their business expansion, and that's a different price than what you could buy the land for. And there's a beautiful spread there that can happen. And so to take advantage of that, I've been studying more, I've been asking for more, I've been sending mailers out to others, I've been, lots of different ways. And so recently I've been looking and scouring the markets of high traffic vacant land, but also high traffic land with building on it, like drive through properties. And some of these drive through style properties I like to focus in on the most because the statistics are the broadest and the most data is there. The most names of who goes here are available to pitch to say this is a good property for you. Your business goes here because of these shops around it, X, Y, and Z, when your good shops are usually located next to these other three shops that are next door. And their business in those three shops that's doing really well should equate to business in your shop going here doing really well. And I think that sales pitch of delivery is a beautiful one that I love to deliver. And so finding those buildings, I've been looking at the ones that are lower price statistical anomalies and going after them, and then getting a contract to buy them, and offering cash to buy them with um, different partners. If you're interested in that side, please feel free to call and ask too. But then when we got control of the property, pitching it to who goes here. And one of my favorite ways to pitch it to who goes here is sending them a letter. I like a black and white letter. I've sent out lots of mail, and I'm used to answering the phones and the replies and the responses of those kinds of letters. And I say, here's a restaurant for you. It's got the drive through. It's got this kind of traffic. It's got these kinds of demographics. But better yet, it's got neighbors that usually are doing, when you're next to those neighbors, you're doing really well. They're doing really well. There's a symbiotic relationship there that when you guys are next to each other, you're all doing better. And your neighbors are here and you're not here yet. I will offer you the finance to go here. The grand opening budget, cover the franchise fees, the money to resurface the shop, change the color, change the signs, change the, put it together, make it happen. Maybe even the money to like get some employees in there and get it up and going. Like just ask them, what do you need to do to make this happen? And then adjust the numbers accordingly to put it all together and deliver it to them. And I send those letters out to who goes here on these buildings, and I get responses. They call and they ask questions, and they want to go for it, but they haggle price. Of course, they should. And I haven't been very extremely awesome or good at negotiating the right prices on the front end of these things to land the plane on the back end with the tenants that want to go in here and keep a spread. And so I've been learning. I've been learning a lot. It's been a huge, tremendous learning experience, right? The street of hard knocks. And it costs money too to do that. So um, I've been learning. And I think as I've been learning, my numbers have been getting better. My accuracy's been getting better. The pitches have been getting better. The response has been getting better. And I think as that happens, the what do you call it? The line will cross. And I think more of these deals will happen. And so that is the opportunity of what I could do with 5 grand in restaurant land deals. So I've got more of these properties that I'm working on, and I've got more of them that I would like to work on. And to send out these mailers, I'd like to send out, multiple waves of these mailers in a much broader fashion than uh, than I'm willing and able to just pay for myself all the time. And so I have looked at the numbers of what brokers charge and contracts I've been into. It's like, holy cow, when you hire a broker to do something like this, it's, and I look at commissions are over $100,000 in one of these properties and $150,000 or something in one of these properties. That seems like a lot to me. And I know how to do most of that stuff or all that stuff. I've done all that stuff on my own. And so sometimes I'm questioning why to pay a leasing broker when we could send out mail, get a lease, negotiate the terms of the lease, and make it happen without them, and then hire a broker to go sell it as a cash flowing asset from there. Just pay one commission instead of two. So here's the pitch. With $5,000, I can send a lot of mail on one of these buildings. I can hit just about everybody, across the country, up, down, or I could do a more concentrated regional mailer a couple times over. And depending on what the shop is, some of the shops, there's a lot more of who goes here than others. But I think a $5,000 budget, I can do lots of those mailers and get a really good chance of a deal coming through. And lots of times, multiple people want to go for it and negotiating between them to figure out the best deal and pulling it off. So I think I would use, not I think, I know I would use the $5,000 for mailers for a particular building and let it rip. Now I've pulled up a little screen in the background. This is my YouTube channel. We got a bunch of different videos here the last couple weeks of examples of these kinds of buildings and the numbers and the idea of me pitching these things to the people that are selling them. And they don't always say yes, but some of them say yes. And these are examples of ones like that I want to work on in the future. So with $5,000, what I would like to do is, go after these deals where I could get, to me, it's like $250,000 or more kinds of spreads. And instead of paying a broker 150 grand or something in a commission, I could offer you a nice fat return on that $5,000 for the mailers. And we cut up the differences. So I was thinking, and this is a very, weighted on purpose spread. I was thinking of offering $50,000 to somebody that puts up $5,000 to do these mailers if it's successful, if it works, if it happens, and if you're accredited. So I'm looking for accredited individuals because I would not only like to give you that $50,000, but I would like it to go into the fund that I've set up. And it's a 1 year hold. And that's why I want you to be accredited, because you got to be accredited to be into the fund. It's I can promote it publicly kind of fund, 506C instead of the 506B one in the regulations. And it's a 1 year lockup to stay out of banking regulations. So, and then in that fund, I'll invest in more of these kinds of deals in lots of different ways. And I would love to talk to you about the details of that. Feel free to call. I'll put my information in the description of this video. If you're not accredited or if you don't want to go into the fund, then it's $25,000. I think it's fivefold, so $5,000, go mail it up on one of these buildings that I can land and go after. And I'll mail. I'll use up that money on mail. And if we get a tenant, I'll pay $25,000 back. And so that's fivefold on the money, or if it goes into the fund, it's tenfold on the money. And I think that's good shots. I think there's a really darn good shot that we get more than one, or we get at least one, but probably more than one out of, if you, how do I say that? Like in a fivefold, if you went 5 times, if you tried 5 of these properties, I really, really think you're going to get more than your money back. The statistics on there, especially if you're accredited and going after the 50,000 spread. So try. I think it's weighted way in your favor to get paid on these things and paid well on these things. And really what I'm trying to do here is get money into the fund, get the fund up and going, get you a taste of what this fund can do and what my deals can do, our deals can do in a compounded fashion over time. Show you the returns, show you more returns, and show you more returns. So you send more money, tell your friends, tell your family that this is a good deal and we should go after more of it. So if you would like to do that, I'm going to put information in the description below. This will be name and address to send a check to. Feel free to call me, email me, ask me. I'd love to answer questions and talk to you about this. This is high risk. You might not get anything. There's a good chance you don't get anything out of this, but like a story of how I tried and, it didn't work. That might be. That's what happens on some of these. And other times it hits and it works, and here's a bunch of money, either the 25 grand or the 50 grand, your choice. If you're accredited, it's your choice. Um, okay, so far, that's what I would do with, there's the title. That's what I would do with the 5 grand. And so far, I've been sweeping the markets, looking at lower price statistical anomalies to pick up these deals. In the future, I would like to keep sweeping the markets, looking for low price statistical anomalies, but also dive into higher quality ones in a way that I think makes sense. Now, I've talked to lots of brokers, lots of different players in this sector, lots of different buyers, sellers, and all different fronts, and I've been learning a lot over time. And I've been learning that we should be going after the best in class. And to me, the best in class of these kinds of assets, and I'm talking restaurants, because there's always good ones, that brands that are coming in and doing well. There's always brands that are going out and doing bad. And they could be on really nice pieces of land, but you could change a brand and, there's a big spread in between, and we can go back and forth and always play that game. And I think that's a perpetual game that goes on for the rest of our lives. But in today's market, some of those really nice brands that are not, I would love to do deals with Starbucks, but most of the deals with Starbucks, as an example, are 10-year deals and double net. Like the owner of the building still has responsibilities. They get to dictate a lot more of the terms. Whereas if you take a company that's a little bit younger, that's still got it going on, like a Dutch Brothers or a Seven Brew, who have really high average unit sales, and you look at the deals that they're doing in today's markets, the vast majority or almost all of them are ground lease deals, where we supply the land and they build the building and they pay all the bills all along the way. We're not responsible for anything. We're just responsible for cashing the check. Like, those are easy to sell. They're easy to set up. They're easy to do. They're a lot easier for beginners like us to deliver properties to those kinds of teams. And so I want to target those kinds of teams and look at the avatar of their best 100 or 200 properties and see what it takes to make those best properties, those best locations, and go in the markets and off markets and look for more properties that fit that avatar to deliver to them. And now that's the idea, right out of the gate. If we can deliver it to them right away, that's awesome. But if we tie up these properties or get a hold of one of these properties, there's a chance that they don't take it, or they don't take it as fast as other brands that like that same location, the same data, the same everything might go after. And that's where the letters come in. We send letters out to everybody that goes here above and beyond those brands that we're targeting, and they can come in faster. They might just buy it off of us. They might do ground lease deals. They might do other kinds of deals, and we make spreads, and I get to pay you off of those mailers too. And I think as we get into those higher class, higher targeted, more competitive properties, the dollar spreads might be less, the time might be faster, and it might be a better return anyway. So, and with a higher probability, better return, right? So I think we can hit them on multiple fronts. Yeah, and those ones with the high average unit sales, some of those names I was just saying, they also are paying higher NOIs, higher rents on the properties, and that means higher valuations. That means we can offer more to get a hold of these things, to get the properties in the door, and then when we can get them out the door at higher prices, there's bigger spreads and less competition to be had. And we can just go after the ones that are expanding fast and using lots of ground leases, and we can all work together to make money off of this. So that's the idea. That's what I could do with $5,000 in restaurant land deals. If you're interested, please look at the description of this video, and I'll put more information in there of how to tackle this opportunity and take it home. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com. See you in the next one.